Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live quilting chat, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everybody, welcome to our show. It's Tuesday, December. It's December, so it's officially my birthday show. Yes, official. Thank you all for being with us, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Of course, I'm not alone in the studio. Mr. HP behind the board.
Hey,
behind
everybody.
the curtains. And Kobe's around. He's around. No, he was around. He just left. But thanks for being here. If you're new around here, make sure you like our page if you're watching on Facebook and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, as always, we like some feedback during our shows. We have a live giveaway every show, so the more you comment, the better chances you have to win a $25 gift card. And you want to stick around for the whole show because we have another drawing at the end of the show with a giveaway question, which that winner will be announced next week on our Tipsy Tuesday show, all as regular. On today's show, we are releasing our Advent project number 3 for 2022 with a free pattern and a tutorial for you. We're showing some great new fabrics in the store and, of course, sharing a little bit about the very eventful, epic wedding weekend, or week, really, pretty much. So it was really amazing. I'm still kind of floating a little bit.
It was the bomb.
It was the bomb.
It was great.
So let's just start with taking care of business. So last week I asked you what is your favorite thing about weddings. That was our giveaway question. So our winner is, drum roll. Cindy Lodi. Congratulations, Cindy. $25 gift card is yours. Her answer was love weddings. I love that people come together to celebrate love and the couple taking cherished vows. Of course, I kind of agree. The best part about everything was having everybody you loved in the same room. Some of them had never been in the same room, joining families, and that's what our vows were all about and our ceremony was all about, joining families.
That's right.
Yes. Anyway, so let's talk about the quilts on the set before I forget, because if we go into everything else, there's so much going on. We have strip ribbons in the back. I picked that one because I'll be showing you a fabric line that's really similar to the one we used there, because this one is sold out long ago. And then we have a little bit of Christmas because it is December. We have steamy windows in the corner, super-sized steamy windows out of one of our beautiful Christmas bundles. If you want a little bit of pink in your Christmas, it's a beautiful line to choose. All right, so it is my birthday show. So I thought, breaking the rules a little bit to have a little bit of a toast. I promise it's not water. It's a little more. It's one of those last minutes. So this is actually, you probably have seen very popular in the stores now, all these different seltzers available. They're kind of like a beer for those who don't drink beer. So I love it. This is your favorite one.
We're not going to advertise for them until they give us some free ones.
Oh, well, we got to share. It's called Cocoa Vodka. So it's actually not a full seltzer because it has coconut water and vodka, and it's delicious if you like coconut. Delicious. So cheers, everybody. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. Wait, there's a birthday song for you. Hold on, there's a birthday group.
We got to do a birthday song. Everybody sing along.
Hold on. Hold on so we can all do a birthday song right here.
Okay.
Birthday to you. You can't hear it. Birthday to you. Everybody sing. Happy birthday, dear goodie. Happy birthday to you. Let it groove. Okay, there you go.
you, thank you, thank you. I heard you all. I heard you all saying, so I appreciate it. This was, of course, was a big milestone on Sunday. And happy birthday to everybody else that had a birthday this week or have it coming up.
How old?
25, 25th birthday.
Look at that number.
Times 2.
50 times 2?
Shush. 25 times 2.
Oh, wow.
So with that being said, I don't know if you missed it. We posted it and put it in our newsletter. We are having a little special on our charm packs and layer cakes that we have in stock. 25% off because I'm double 25. And this is through Friday. So make sure you check it out. I know they've been flying out because it's a discount on top of, if something was already on sale, it's on top of that. So good deals. Check that out. All right, so my birthday was kind of a little low-key. We had everybody over that were still around from the wedding on Saturday. They came over for a little brunch on Sunday. It was mostly my kids that set it up. I'd kind of planned it ahead of time a little bit, and they went and followed through and cut up some fruit and got some bagels and made some hot dishes. And it was really great. And then we just hung around the pool and enjoyed ourselves throughout the day. Yeah, it was great. Kind of a chill day. We needed that. Great to just spend time, and everybody was still on such a high from the wedding.
Happy birthday.
But of course, like I said, it's going to be my birthday until Christmas. That usually is the case. December until Christmas. Then it switches.
Party on.
Party on. All right, so the wedding, yes, it was amazing. It was a full, almost a week of festivities. I did a little fun day, girly fun day on Thursday with some of my good girlfriends that were in town. And then we had Friday, we had a little meet and greet because a lot of people had never met each other, even our closest families. So that was really awesome. And then we had the wedding day, which was amazing. And we have some photos, so we will share a lot more once we get our really good photos and videos. But this is just what we've gathered from friends, some video clips, and some photos. So I thought we would share a little bit with you. So check out our little video.
Put your bracelet on.
Okay, how long is this?
That was awesome.
Did you like our getaway car? Getaway bike? Yes. That was how we left. And actually how you arrived as well. So they were all waiting for the groom. Where is he? Because the kids were already there and he arrived on the bike.
I had to drive up on the Harley.
Yes. So it was quite the ceremony. Like I said, we'll share more when we have the full-on videos. There was a lot of videos with heads in the way and stuff like that. So we got to show you the whole vibe. It was What we heard is different from any wedding that people had ever been to, of course. Leave it to us.
A lot of them said it was their best wedding ever.
Yeah. We had actually our two oldest kids. They were the officiants, which was very appropriate because it was all about joining the whole family. Kobe was there. Johan was there. And of course, the reception was just a party, with a third of it being Icelanders and your family. It was your friends. It was just a beautiful mix, and they danced until they were kicked out.
Kids were dancing.
Kids were dancing like crazy. Johan danced the whole time. He only took breaks for a little water and a little bite of food, as you can see. And he was break dancing, doing the splits, trying everything that the big kids were doing, and would not even, didn't even want to dance with me or anything. He was just loving it. All the kids were loving it. So we had a lot of fun. We should share, like I got a ring. So my ring is back now. You may have noticed. Let's look at the overhead. My ring is back, and you have your ring back. We took them off to have them kind of shined up because we wanted to keep the same ring. So my ring is back now. And this beautiful bracelet to match from my honey for my birthday. And then we added a little extra something to really join us since we were using the same rings. And that's on this side. Yeah, we got some tats. We got this beautiful tattoo that your really good friend drew up for us. So it's actually two hearts that are linked with an infinity woven through it. So we figured this would be something that lasts forever. So,
yeah.
My first tattoo. My first.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be my last or not.
What?
What's happening? You're still looking at my hands.
Well, it's beautiful.
So, yeah, that was, if you're asking, was it painful? Not at all to me. And I was always waiting for it to get painful. So I think I'm probably meant to do tattoos or something because I didn't feel barely anything. So it was a beautiful weekend. Like I said, we're still just on a high from everything. And we will be for a while, I think. It was just so lovely and lots of tears. There was lots of tears, lots of crying. We started crying instantly, both of us. But it was all beautiful. All right, so let's move on a little bit and talk about something other than us and our weekend. We promise to show you more once we get our professional photos and videos. So I wanted to talk first about kind of dive right into our Advent project because I know you've been waiting, and it's been really lovely to see photos posted of the first two Advent projects. The first one, of course, was the bowl cozy. A lot of you are making those for Christmas. We have restocked some of the products for that. And then, of course, our last week project was the second Advent, was the window zip little zipper bag, meant to hold your clips. So, or anything else. But it was really great to see so many of you that don't normally make bags kind of get over your fear, just like me, of zippers, and just try it, and turned out beautiful. It's an easy one, so love to see that. And I wanted to tell you that the vinyl, we had more arrive in the store if you wanted to get some more vinyl to make more bags. And then also we'll be getting more zippers real soon. All right, so now it's time for our third Advent project, right? Our third one is, it's gotta be a secret for a little bit. Are you ready? So we're gonna play the video tutorial for you. The written instructions you will be able to find after you watch the video under free patterns on our website. Just go there, put it in your cart, and go through the checkout. It's, of course, free. And then it will be available for you as a PDF download, and you can download it. You can reach that through your account, go to My Downloadable Files, and find all that. So without further ado, let's see what our third Advent is. Welcome to our third Advent Project 2022. Let's get into our surprise box and find our surprise. We are looking for December 6th. Yes, here's my bag. December 6th. Let's take a look at what's inside. See if we get some hints on what we're making today. We have some batting and some fabric and, a cool gift. Wow, a GE Design spatula. I wonder if that is a hint on what we will be making. I'm thinking it's going to be something for baking because we have batting that has insole. Right. Let's check it out. So to make the pot holder, you will need two types of batting. We have polytherm fleece, which has an aluminum layer, which is the heat insulating layer, and then just a layer of regular polyester batting, not fusible. Then you're going to need 3 fat quarters for the outside of the pot holder, for the pocket, and then for binding. So we're going to start by layering our outside of the pot holder. So that's the fabric I want to use for that. And so what we want to do is layer the 2 battings, and you can use spray adhesive to attach them together. So we just want to attach them together any which way. We want to make sure that these 2 are attached, and then we're going to take our fat quarter that is going to be for the outside of the pot holder. You can cut it in half lengthwise, and then we're going to fuse this, we're going to use a spray adhesive. I used a spray adhesive. You can attach it any which way. 1 piece on this side and then 1 piece on the other side. So what we essentially want to do this first step is quilt all these layers together. And you can do that any which way. You want to use a walking foot. You can do diagonal lines, straight lines, long straight lines. You can free motion, but we want to make sure that we attach the 3 layers. So what I did with my piece is I just did diagonal lines just about 1 inch apart. They're not 100% even, really doesn't matter. So now you have this quilted layer that has the 2 layers of batting in between, fabric on each side. So the next thing we want to do is cut out our shape for the pot holder. So you want to trace the design you had in the pattern, the free pattern, and just place it on your quilted piece, and you're going to draw around 2 ovals. So you can use a pen or anything else. So you just want to draw the shape all the way around, and you're going to be able to make 2. And then we're going to cut that out just with scissors. The next thing we're going to do is cut our binding. So we have our fat quarter for the binding, and we want to make sure we are cutting this on the bias to be able to go around the oval shape. So we're going to take our fat quarter. I have my selvage on the side, and you want to fold it diagonally like this. So you're bringing the raw edge top and the selvage together. So you're creating this fold here diagonally. I'm going to turn it, and this little top piece here, I'm going to fold this even with the raw edge like this. I know this is a small edge, but then this fold I'm going to bring down even with my bottom fold here. So now I can fold this whole thing in half and ready to cut my bias. So bias strip. So you're going to be cutting, I decided to cut a little bit wider binding because we are working with more layers than normal. So I cut 2.5 inch binding. You can go do whatever you are comfortable with. I normally cut 2 1/4 for my quilts, so I am going to do 2 1/2. So I'm cutting 2 1/2 in strips. So all I wanted to do is make sure that there's a horizontal line along the fold here, and the top fold is parallel. And I know my strips are going to be straight. And so each one is going to be perfectly cut on the bias. So little nick here. So as you can see, we have strips that are about 18 to 20 inches long. Some of them are going to be shorter. What we want to do is make bindings that we need a binding strip for all the way around that's about 35 inch long. So I just take 2 of them and sew them together. You want to sew them on the diagonal, but since we have a diagonal edge right here already, I can just take these, layer them together, stitch across to make a long strip. Then once you have done that, we need 2 of them that are about 35 inches long. Then we're just gonna take it to the iron again and fold it in half, right sides out. So you can see my seam here. I pressed that seam open, folded it in half, right side out, so I have a raw edge and then a folded edge. And then the third thing I want to do is I want to take one edge and here that is cut on the diagonal, just fold the edges under, because we're going to use a tucked end binding because we are working with the round edges. It makes it a lot easier. So we have 2 pieces like this for the 2 pot holders. And I want to show you one more thing we want to do, and you can use just a short leftover strip for that. We want to make, if you want to make hangers for your pot holders, you just want to take a little piece of the binding, fold it in half, wrong sides together. Want to give it a press, and then bring, so we're kind of creating a little bias tape, bring the raw edges towards that center fold on each side, and then in the end we're going to fold it back in half and press it. And with this piece we can cut it in half. I'm going to do that later. So I'm actually going to top stitch just to keep these together, and then this will become 2 little hangers for our pot holder. The last thing we have to cut is the fabric for the pocket. Now you can kind of decide if you want a certain design showing on your pot holder. So I am just going to fold this. I think I would like to see this snowflake. So I'm going to fold it however I want that. So you want to find the design in your print and figure out a way to cut that. So then we take our cutout for the pot holder, and where there is a line, we're just going to fold it down because this is the pattern for the pocket. So we're going to fold it on the line and use that for our cutout. So then another thing I do, I just fold it in half this way to find the center, because if I'm going to center a design, I can use that fold crease to know exactly that my pattern is going to be centered. So this is where I'm going to place my pattern. You can either use a pen to draw around it and then cut it out with scissors. You just want to make sure that you have it folded because you need fabric on both sides. Or you can just use a rotary cutter. I would suggest a 45mm or even a smaller one. It's easier to go around curves with a smaller rotary cutter, and then just eyeball it and go around the whole design. You want to cut out 2 pockets like this. So one for each of the pot holders. And I chose not to put any batting in my pocket because that is not going to be up against the hot item that you're holding, And that way you don't have as much thickness when you're putting the binding around the whole thing. So here's my pocket. And now we're gonna just layer the pieces we need to do to put it all together. So I have my cutout shape for the quilted part, and this is the 2 layers of batting and then 2 layers of fabric. And then I have my binding ready. So I have one piece long enough, so at least 30 to 35 inches. I have one end cut at an angle and folded that over. So this is ready to be my binding. And then I took the little piece here to make a hanger for the pot holder. So then our pocket goes on one side, like so. On the other side, we want to position the hanger. So we want to place that like this along the edge. So that's going to get stitched into the binding. So I am going to use pins for this, just so it stays in place, because clips are going to be kind of bulky. So I'm going to grab a couple of pins here and just position this hanger how I want it to be. And you can just put it kind of at the top along the raw edge. And then I am going to, oops, pop that pin right in here. So then they just stay there. And on the other side, we have the pocket. So this one, I'm just going to clip around the edge. And before I do the binding, because this is such a thick layer and we have a lot of layers putting that binding on, what I like to do before I put the binding on is going around the whole edge with a zigzag stitch. And then what's that going to do, what that does is kind of condenses the edge. It keeps all the layers together, so none of them is going to have the chance to flip back as I'm sewing that binding on. So that is my first step. I'm going to go ahead and just zigzag around the whole edge, because then also we can get rid of all of these clips and the pins as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, zigzag around the whole edge. So now you can see I have a zigzag around the whole edge. The whole pocket is secured in here. And then our little hanger is also secured. So now I can go ahead and just attach my binding in a regular way. And what I like to do is actually sew it to one side, flip it over, and then stitch it down by machine. So what I prefer to do is I want the stitch down part to be on the side of the pocket. So I'm going to stitch my binding onto the other side. So this side is where I'm going to stitch my binding. So when we're sewing on a bias binding, you just want to go slow because you want to be able to curve it around all the edges. I want to start a little bit from my tail so that when I come around, I can adjust the end of my binding and just tuck it in here and then finish my seam all the way around. So as I go all the way around, I don't adjust my length until I come to this part. I tuck it in, and I have another one finished in that way here. So let me show you. I like to start at an angle on the curve where it's the least curve. So I started down here on the side. I stitched all around, and when I came to this part, I tucked in the ends. So now when I'm to this point, I want to take this to my iron, and I want to really press out those edges, push out the binding everywhere before I flip it over the curved edge. So then we should be able to flip it over the edge everywhere, and it's going to naturally want to curve around because of the bias. So once I get it here, I give it another good press, and you can press that little hanger up as well. And then when I get to the other side, I flip it over. So here's the side of the pocket. when I get to this side, before I start securing this down, I want to make sure that this batting is laying flat, and which it did with our zigzag, but I want to make sure, and I always go on the inside first, make sure everything is laying flat, and then I go and press my binding down as it will be stitched down. Now this is already going to start happening automatically because of our binding being cut on the bias, so the fabric will want to do that automatically. So now it is folded over, and our last part is just stitching it down. So I'm choosing to do that with just a straight stitch. I know this is going to be used a heck of a lot as a pot holder, so I'm just going to catch it and top stitch all the way around. So what I want to do is match my thread to the binding in the top. So my top thread is going to be this peacock color, and then on the bottom you want to match your thread to this fabric. So since it is multicolored, I am just going to use a light gray so it matches this color, because you are going to see that stitch just a little bit on the inside here. But you want to make sure that that little hang tag or the hanger here is folded out this way, so that it doesn't get stitched over here. So I want to make sure that's secured that way as I go stitch this down. When I start stitching, I usually want to start where I tucked in my binding so I can kind of control that edge. So that's where I'm going to start on this one. So here we are with a finished pot holder. This is our pocket. So as we pull something hot out of the oven, we slip our fingers in here, and this is all going to be insulated and safe. I hope you enjoyed making the GEasy pot holders with me. What a fast and easy project. So handy and great gifts. They go together quick, so they kind of get addicting to make. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Super GEasy pot holders, right? So I'm going to dive into some of your questions that I saw popping up while we were playing the video. But aren't these adorable? They are so cute, just hanging up, decorative, but really great. You can make them, of course, with any fabric, and they work perfectly. So what I wanted to mention before I dive into the questions, yes, I used 2 layers of batting. So you want to use an insulating layer, which for this one, you can see over here, I used a product called Polytherm, which is from Bozal. It's very similar to Insulbrite. It's just a little bit thicker. So you want to have that little aluminum layer that insulates the heat. So then I just used sew-in batting. So it's just a light fusible, not non-fusible, just a light sew-in fleece, so polyester batting. And so this is the layers that go between the 2 fabrics. And we do sell both Insulbrite by the yard, but then we do have now the Polytherm, which is a great product and kind of a lot more cost effective, because you get 60 inches wide, and we sell it in 1 yard. So they're already cut into 1 yards. This one is sold in 1 yards as well, but also just 45 inches wide. So this is 60 wide, so you'll get a lot of use out of it. And I love that, because I've always thought to make a table runner with that in the middle, because then you can put it on your really long table if you're having, you know, a buffet dinner with lots of people, or just having all your side dishes or anything that's hot. You can just place it right on your table runner on your long table. So this one comes in 60 wide, so you could make your runner 60 inches long, or 62 or something. It's really great. So let's answer some of your questions. So first off, a lot of questions, and you know, just awe over the bias binding cutting. So I was working with a fat quarter, so it's folded a certain way. I have a YouTube video on our YouTube channel. If you have not checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go there and subscribe, because that's the best. There's so much great information there. So there is a video there that shows you how to fold fabric and cut bias strips. So either from a fat quarter or from bigger yardage. So a lot of you asked about using something bigger than a fat quarter. So that's all in that video. You can find that on our YouTube channel. You can also just go to our website under videos, and then there's a link that says tutorials, and there you will also find that video. But it's really great. So best way to cut bias binding, I can tell you that. So there's that. And then you were asking, somebody asked if the pattern was going to be sold separately. It is available, of course, for free. So you can just go to GE Designs, go to our shop and free patterns, and you will find the Advent pot holder there, and you can just put it in your cart and go through the checkout, and it will be in your account. Does anyone use pot holder hangers? I do. I do. It's nice to have a little, I use just one of those command hooks, you know, inside a cabinet, so they're always hanging there. You don't have to put them on, of course not, but I love them, so that's why I added that to the pattern. But it's easy to leave them off. Would you use Insulbrite for the pot holder? Yeah, so you can use Insulbrite or the Polytherm. It's the same or very similar product. The Polytherm is a little bit thicker, but it's a very similar product. So either one works perfectly. And you have to have that if you're going to make a pot holder, because it insulates the heat from your fingers. Because no matter if you just have batting, the heat is going to come through. What stitch length on the binding top stitch? I use my same stitch length. It's 2.5, but you want to use your walking foot. Same thing with when you're doing the zigzag around and the binding. You want to use your walking foot. If you have one, attach your walking foot. Does this silver shiny go on the inside? Yes, and it doesn't matter which side. So these two layers go together, and it doesn't matter if it goes this way or this way, because it just insulates on the side that is between your hand and the hot item. So it really doesn't matter which way. So it just goes between the two pieces of fabric. Does the Polytherm make a crunchy sound like Insulbrite? I don't think it's not as crunchy. It's a little crunchy, but I don't think it's as crunchy as the Insulbrite. So it's a softer product, but it doesn't look like it would be because it has that really shiny silver. You can totally see it. If you make square pot holders, is it necessary to cut bias binding? No. If you're gonna just fold your corners like you're doing a quilt, of course you don't need bias binding at all. So you can do that option as well. I like the rounded corners on that. It's a fun shape, and like somebody said, which I was kind of thinking ahead of time, you can make it for Easter because it already shaped like an Easter egg. A really fun shape, and I just love this shape for my hands. It works for my hands this way. All right, any more questions? Could you use 2 layers of the thermal? Yes, you could. So I did 1 batting, 1 thermal. You could do 2 thermals. I tested it with just 1 layer of thermal. Believe me, I needed to test it on some hot items, and it was fine. It worked great. So it's been tested. Does the Insulbrite go between 2 layers of batting? No, you need just 1 layer of batting and then 1 layer of an insulating material. So either Insulbrite or the Polytherm, 1 layer and then 1 layer of batting. All right. Any more questions? Not that you see. Somebody asked about, that was watching on YouTube, about how they could do the closed captioning. So on Facebook, you can turn on closed captioning during the live, but on YouTube, I believe you can only do it when you're watching it after the show is not live. So I thought you could do it. I can't see it on my phone. Do you know if we can? But if you just wait till after the show to watch this again, then you can definitely turn on the closed captioning. So, all right, any more questions? I think I got all those questions. mostly about the insulation layer. But I think this third advent was a winner, winner. They're super quick, actually. If you just take a big piece and quilt it, that's probably the most time consuming, because then you're just cutting things out, you zigzag around that and add the binding. So that's really all there is. And it's so much fun to use pretty fabric. Oh, just wash just like normal. So just like whatever you're washing, you know, table runners, pot holders, that are placemats. That's why I like to do it by machine, sewing the binding down by machine, because when something needs to be washed a lot, the binding done by machine is going to hold up a lot better over time than hand-stitched binding. All right. And you know what? Those store-bought ones also have just a top-stitched binding. So we're good. Okay. If that's all the questions, I hope you enjoyed this third advent, and we have one more. I know this is going really, really fast, but we have one more awesome one to come next week. I think you're all going to really love. All right, so I wanted to mention, since we are in December already, our Goodies Bundle Club that, of course, had their shipment in October. We have another shipment coming up in January because it's a quarterly club. We still have about a handful of spots in the bundle club. So if you haven't snatched one up and you're wanting to, make sure you think about that real quick. And if you subscribe, you will get the Listen to Your Heart bundle. That was the October bundle. You will get that sent, and then you will also get the January one, which is awesome. No hints. But I just wanted to mention that if you were looking and waiting for a spot, there are just a few left there. Before we dive into our bundles. All right, so our bundles tonight are very fun. We have 2 seasonal themed small bundles, 6-piece bundles, and I'm going to start with a little St. Patrick's Day. And these would be freaking awesome for pot holders, for sure. So let's start with this one. This is called Shamrocked. Line is called Shamrocked. It's beautiful and fun. We're going to start it off. These are from Blank. I really love this combination of colors. Very traditional St. Patrick's Day. Of course, a lot of green. So we're starting with the green trucks. So no red trucks, of course. We're going to have green trucks. And it has just a little bit of gold. And I love the little pennants hanging with the shamrocks. Then we have a little typography print here. And they're really kind of funny sayings. So pinch me and I'll punch. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Ready to stumble. Ready to stumble. Shamrocked. And what's this say? Drink green beer. Drink green beer. Free beer. No, no free beer. Then we have the shamrock print. These are all kind of be really flowing into each other. But I love the different shades of green and just specks of black and white, and then a little bit of gold, of course. Has to be a little gold at the end of the rainbow, right? So then we have the light green background with all the leprechaun hats, the leprechaun's legs and shoes sticking out. We have some lucky horseshoes and, of course, some gold coins here. Then we have on a white background, we have the actual leprechauns with the pot of gold. So I love putting together seasonal, very novelty type fabrics in just a 6-piece bundle, because then you can really add to it whatever else you need from basics. So then this is the 6th last print. It's all the hats with the pennants, and they create little circles with the shamrocks. So really cute. So this is Shamrocked. Somebody's talking about other ideas to make out of this than just quilts. I love if you want to decorate just quickly for just such a short holiday, you're getting the spirit. I love table runners, little placemats, little household item, you know, kitchen towels. The pot holders, of course, would be great. Some little things like that. So the fabric pull for this one, we got to start with the green. And I did kind of a variety of greens to have all varieties. We'll start with the darkest one, the chalk and charcoal in the green color. We have a Bumbleberries Christmas green that joins all the darks and lights. And then we have the medium chalk and charcoal in the grasshopper. And then I had to do a light one for this light green. The Jacks in the lime works perfectly for that. So all the different shades of green that kind of play along and everywhere in the line. For just these touches of other colors. So this is mostly green. There's some white, so pretty white. So I would go either the Century White with these fun little beach balls or the Starry Night, which are almost white on whites. But then for the accents, I love the hints of black everywhere. So I would either do the black on black asterisk or the spotted in the jet black, which has a little light specks on it there. And then we got to pull out some gold. We got to add some gold. So it's pretty muted, so not too bright. So chalk and charcoal in the wheat is great, or the spotted celestial in the maize. So it kind of blends naturally because these are pretty kind of mustardy yellows or golds. And then I found two prints that could be used for accents, bindings, borders, things like that. Diagonal stripe in the black and white will be great, or the diagonal plaid in the picnic color from the timber. So I think these are all work great with the Shamrocked bundle. So anybody Irish out there that love St. Paddy's Day, here's some fun stuff either to add to your collections. Now we always carry these little St. Paddy's Day bundles. And what's great about them that you can kind of collect them, so they can be joined with others. So this is Shamrocked, and then we have another one that is a seasonal one, and that's Easter that comes right after St. Paddy's Day this year or soon after. And this one is called I'm All Ears. I love that. So we of course start with the bunnies for the all ears. So typical pastel colors, but I love the fun in this. So there's all the little peeps, the bunny peeps in all the colors. And then we have, of course, some jelly beans. That is a classic for Easter, isn't it? Do you like jelly beans, Mr. HP?
Not really.
Not really.
They're never really my favorite treat.
Okay. What about peeps?
No.
No. That's just like foam in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Then we have beautiful little bunny heads on this turquoise background that has also polka dots. Love that. And then we have the bunnies and the eggs. So like kind of a collage of eggs, and we have bunny faces and little daisies, polka dots. I love this fun print. Speaking of polka dots, there's a directional print that it's kind of like a bead curtain, or like those candy bead bracelets. That's what it reminds me of. But what a great stripe to use as a stripe. And then we have the pink, a little bit of pink. So this floral daisy print to bring in a little bit of pink to tie all the pastels together. So super cute and festive. So great for little Easter egg bags, table runners, little decorations like a pennants and things like that.
Chocolate eggs. How about chocolate?
Yeah,
eggs?
Chocolate eggs. That is my treat. All day long. Cadbury's chocolate eggs. Or the big Icelandic Easter eggs. So we'll start with the pinks. The chalk and charcoal in the camellia. Even though there's only one pink print, so I kind of did 3 colors in different shades. The camellia is the darkest. And then we do dash flow in the parfait, kind of a medium, and then a really light pink with the chalk and charcoal in the rose. So you have a little shade difference there. For the yellows, I did another chalk and charcoal in the buttercup, and then the flow in the buttercup as well. Also, I love this one because it has different variations of that color, so from dark to light. For the greens, I did a canvas in the kiwi, and then the Floral Elements lettuce, a little bit brighter because there's some bright specks of green everywhere. Actually, I love this green in the bunnies over here. For the aquas, Nature Elements Ocean Breeze, and then the dot matrix in the aqua. Love that because there's so many polka dots in here. This one ties perfectly in with it. And then for the light color here, it's not a white, not a pure white. It has a little bit of kind of golden specks in here, so I love the Floral Elements and the Winter Wheat because it has a little bit of yellow print in it. And then also the Grunge in the soft, clear water color. So it has a little bit of gray specks, but pretty neutral. So this is what I pulled for I'm All Ears. So let's do one more. I have one more, and that one is not seasonal. That is just beautiful color. Remember I told you at the top of the show that the quilt behind me, the strip ribbons, I have a fabric line that's very similar to that coloration. So this one is called, I gotta get this right, Prairie Dreams. I got to get it right because last week we had a Prairie Song, very different line. So this one is Prairie Dreams. So very much blues and golds and a little bit of off-white, but just gorgeous. This will make just beautiful quilts, very classic colors and prints. So we'll start with this one here on the light off-white background, light cream background, blue flowers with a little bit of gold, going a little bit more wheat in the background here with the gold flowers. And I love that the stems of the flowers are blue because that really ties that colorway in. So a little bit darker in the background here with that really nice cream, golden cream, just with little polka dots on the flowers in blue. We have another print here going even deeper into the golds. I love this print, but it ties back in with that off-white back to that first print. So then we go even darker, and I love when you can get all these shade differences in the colors. So gold on this deep, I don't know what to call it, caramely brownish gold. And here we go even deeper with that same print as we had on the light cream with blue stems on the flowers. And then we have a tone-on-tone bright gold. I love that because then this one will tie together with all of the bright golds that are everywhere. And that transitions us into the blue background, but a very bright gold on that one. So same print from here with the blue. We have a deep blue. Love this tone of blue. It's so rich, very, very rich. So this is, again, this same print, just in a different colorway. We have almost a tone-on-tone blue, but this is kind of the viney print that we have here, but reversed. So blue with just a little bit of gold. We have a tone-on-tone small floral in the blue, and then finishing off with the blue and just a little bit of that off-white, same print as we had here, just with the blue. So I just love this. I think it's gorgeous. And as I said before, the strip ribbons behind me is pretty much blue and gold, and this would be a great quilt to do that same idea with. Prairie Dreams. But let me give you some more colors if you wanted to throw in some more basics, especially if you wanted more lights, because that strip ribbons I did use scrappy lights for the background. So I did kind of a hues of different shades of natural colors. So grunge natural, and then the grunge cream, a little bit warmer gold and lighter than the natural. And then I did a little bit darker with a new fabric called Spectrostatic Papyrus, a new color in our Spectrostatic line. And then for the lightest, I would do a Dimples Snow, so to tie in with kind of the lightest whites in here. For the gold, I went, of course, matching some of the bright gold, so the Dimples and the Raha. And then a little bit deeper, the Chalk and Charcoal and the Marigold. And then toning more into the browns, the Bumbleberries, Dark Golden Sand, and Deco Stitch and the Pecan Praline. And then the darkest, another brand new Spectrostatic, the Spectrostatic in the Squash color. So it tones very nicely with this deepest color, deepest tone. And then I have a couple of blues. You don't need too many blues, but these two work great. So a little bit dark one with a grunge and the true blue, and then a bit brighter with light blue in it is the Spotted in the Nautical Blue. So that is our fabric pull for Prairie Dreams. Prairie Dreams, not Prairie Song. There's quite a lot of difference between these two. Look very different, but I really love this. Very classic, but still has that little bit of an edge, different from other things. So any questions on these collections? The last one, the Prairie Dreams, is a 12-piece collection. So 12-piece stash builder bundle, so half-yard bundles is what we do around here. You see any questions on anything? All right. Well, that's amazing. I hope you're making your list for the holidays if you haven't started. I haven't started. We have been so busy with wedding prep, and it's kind of like Christmas was so far away. And now it's like, whoops, it's not far away. Not at all. All right, so do you have a live winner, Mr. HP?
I sure do.
All right.
And
who is our live winner? So this is just what we pulled from all of your comments, both on Facebook and YouTube, every single show. Robin Sequeira Rothstein. Congratulations, Robin. You have won a $25 gift card. So all you got to do to claim it, send an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com. And that goes same for you, Cindy Lodi. You were our winner earlier in the show. So send us an email and we'll get you your gift card right away to shop. All right, so of course we finish our show with another opportunity to win, and that is if you answer just one giveaway question in the comments. And I came up with this because we had some of our people for the wedding. We should talk about the food, tell them about the food. It was amazing. We had some appetizers and what was your favorite appetizer?
I like that grilled cheese dip.
Oh yeah, we had little cups with tomato bisque and then a little triangle of a grilled cheese sandwich. That really hit the spot. Johan loved that. He was
and mushroom.
A mushroom tart,
Yeah,
and then we had a crab cake and a shrimp. You can't not have shrimp in Florida. And then
But it was shrimp and grits.
Well, that was our main course.
Oh. Jeez,
yes, so we had stations. So instead of having sit-down dinner, we had 3 stations, so people could just kind of eat whenever, sit wherever. It worked out perfectly. So we had a grit station, so they could do shrimp and grits, or like a vegan eggplant mushroom stew on your grits. Both amazing. And then we had like a sandwich station, or a little what are they called? Slider station. So we had barbecue, pork, I think pulled pork. We had a chicken sandwich, and then we had bao buns with mushroom. So they were the vegan. Oh, delicious. Yeah. Then we had a steakhouse, a Latin steakhouse station that had, of course, some steak with chimichurri, and then the side dishes, what I loved. rice and beans, rice and black beans, and some plantains, fried plantains. Just loved everything.
What about the signature cocktail?
And then we had a signature cocktail. They saw the cocktail on Friday. If you saw Friday's show, they saw the cocktail. They got the recipe. Yeah, it was called What's a Name?
The What's a Name?
The What's a Name? We were trying to come up with a name, and I'm like, why don't we use the most used word in this household, which is what's a name? Because when we don't remember the name, that's what it's called.
Hand me that What's a Name?
Hand me that What's a Name? What was the name? What's the name?
You remember the What's a Name?
Yeah, it's terrible. But a lot of our guests were like, where's the cake? Where's the cake? We didn't have cake.
Boring.
Yeah, we had ice cream sandwiches.
Yay!
They were a hit, big hit. So Icelanders had never seen anything like that. That's not a thing in Iceland. To get 2 cookies and then ice cream in between, oh, that was quite the hit. Yeah. So that's why my giveaway question, I'm going the long way around. Giveaway question for tonight is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? What is your favorite? You had some ice cream last night.
It was a combination on a waffle cone of strawberry and chocolate chip.
Strawberry and chocolate chip.
A scoop of strawberry and a scoop of chocolate chip. It was good.
Yeah. And here, I'm not much of an ice cream person, but I'm a cookie person. So as you may have seen in the little video we played, Johan got me and gave me a taste of his little ice cream sandwich. He really loved those. But they were delicious. They were white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Oh, that's one of my favorites. So I had that. So just tell us your answer. What's your favorite ice cream? I can't tell you mine. Well, if I have vegan ice cream, which is delicious, it's always something caramel or like pecan, praline, something like that. That's my favorite. All right, so let us know in the comments, and our winner will be chosen next week on our show, which will be December 13th. We'll be live from the GE headquarters. We'll be back in Minnesota just to get a little dose of cold Christmas air. Yes.
Yay.
And that's going to be at 4 p.m. Central, as usual. And then we will be live here this Friday on December 9th at 12 noon Central. Those of you that asked when we will reveal Color Club, that's going to be a week from today on our Tipsy Tuesday, December 13th. All the packages went out, so they're on their way to you, everybody. But that's our show for tonight. Thank you for watching and joining us. Wish me again a happy birthday, because it's going to be taking place all month long.
Birthday.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Friday.
Happy
Cheers.
Birthday to you. I'm not going to switch it. I'm going to let everybody keep looking at you. It's your
Really?
birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Can we get Kobe in here
He's gone.
on camera?
See ya.